live in the past for a few minutes. We've got several players and cheerleaders and managers here. I want to introduce them. I'll introduce them by class. So if you guys that are in the class of 1966 will step forward. Terry and Mike. These guys were freshmen and sophomores on these two teams. Mike, if you'll raise your hand. Mike was one of the leading scorer and rebounders on the 66 team, and Terry was the other leading scorer and rebounder on the 66 team. Mike was lucky enough to play 2 years with Coach Avery, and then he coached against him in golf and basketball when he was at Rantoul. Terry, at one time, held the high school high jump record. Raise your hand, Terry. And also, maybe more importantly, Terry served 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. He was in the Navy. These two guys played on the 1966 team. They're not being honored tonight, but they won the regional in this gymnasium, beating Mattoon High School. They then went on to play one of the top-ranked teams in the state in the Paris Sectional. They lost to Lawrenceville. So congratulations, Mike and Terry. Also from that class, not here tonight, is Rick Garrett, who lives in Minnesota. Okay, the class of 1965, if you guys will step forward. These guys and gals were sophomores and juniors on these two teams. They were lucky enough to play for Coach Avery for 3 years. Not here out of this class is Sheila Duffel Kubota, who lives in California. Buzz Taylor, who lives in Texas. Buzz was an outstanding football and basketball player. He missed 1 year with a knee injury, but had a great senior year. These guys on their senior year won 15 ball games. The ones that are here, well, the one other in that class was Richard McLean from Arcola. He was also a Vietnam veteran, and if you got a program, you can see he's deceased. We have Ron Gardner over here, outstanding football and basketball player. Played a lot all 3 years, sophomore, junior, and senior year. Good running back in football. And for you Arthur people, a little bit of trivia. His mom was a salutatorian of the Arthur class of 1939. Next we have Bill Blackwell. He had to go against Terry Miller and Jim Monahan and Sam Walton for 2 years in practice. I'm surprised he could still walk after that kind of duty. Bill also had a son, Jeremy, score 38 points in a ball game here a few years ago. Congratulations, Bill. Next we have Doug Dunnigan. Doug is one of our 1,000-point scorers. Started for 3 years. Started as a sophomore and played second fiddle the time he was a senior. He was one of the leading scorers in the area, if not the leading scorer in the area, and he has over 1,000 points. Next we have Jerry Glenn. Jerry also played 3 years for Coach Avery. Came off the bench a lot on the super sectional team, and was also captain of the football team in 1964. With him is his wife, Joella Strader Glenn, one of the cheerleaders, and one of the many of the Strader clan that's here tonight. Thanks for coming back, you two. Class of 1964. Not here tonight. Brenda Bowman, who was our homecoming queen. Susie Bowers Mast, who's hitting golf balls in Florida. Ron Hillegas, who's deceased. He was from Scottsdale, Arizona. Better known for his football ability than his basketball. Mike Spence from Humboldt, who's out of state tonight, was a good shooter. And Robbie Williams, One of our managers is in San Francisco visiting family, and Raymond Younger, another manager statistician who lives in Northern Illinois. We have Reggie Finn. Reggie was a starter on that super sectional team, and when we beat Champaign High School in the sectional championship, he scored 14 of the 46 points and hit some crucial baskets down the stretch to beat Luke Moody's Champaign team in their gym. We have Phyllis Green Turner, one of our cheerleaders, and her brother Mark was also on the team with Terry Canals and Mike Bloss when they won the 1966 regional championship. Have Mike Doyle. He was head manager and statistician, Coach Avery's right-hand man. And Mike will tell you that he's one of, as far as we know, he's one of 2 Arcola people that lettered in football at the University of Illinois. He was the manager and Terry was the linebacker. Congratulations, Mike. And Dr. Sam Walton from Effingham, Illinois. Sam was an outstanding football player, captain of the football team, and you didn't want to get next to him under the basket trying to rebound because I've seen him put more than one person through that west wall. Sam loved to play against Tuscola. We beat him 3 times our senior year, twice on this floor, once for the conference championship, once for the tournament championship, and then in the Mattoon Regional. And Stam had his best 3 games against Tuscola. I don't know what it was, but he loved to play Tuscola. And last but not least, Terry Miller. Some of you maybe heard of him. Terry, all-state basketball player, played 3 sports at the University of Illinois, 7 years in the NFL. Champaign News-Gazette listed him as Arcola's greatest all-around athlete, and still holds the school discus record of 181 feet. And he was kind of the guy that carried us. The rest of us passed the ball and rebounded and dribbled, and he took care of everything else. Congratulations, Terry. Okay, class of 1963. This was a team that was 26-2. Lost the first game of the year to ABL. We lost the last game of the year right here in this gym to Mattoon, who was co-Big 12 champions. Not here tonight is Dewan Bartholomew, who still holds a school record in the hurdles. And probably the only person in this gym tonight that could beat him in a race might be Tyler Shuring from Arthur. But Dewan, he still holds the hurdle records, and he did all that stuff on a cinder track. Ken Beasley is a guard on the team, lives in Barrington, Illinois. Mary Johns Baird from Tuscola, hitting golf balls in Florida. 3 out there, we got Bill Anderson. Bill, much like his buddy Ron Hilligoss, was better known for his football ability, but he still did a pretty good job at basketball. We have Billie Jean Clark, Billie Jean Arthur Clark. Husband Corky graduated in '62 and played for Coach Avery. She also has a son, Brad, that was one of Arcola's 1,000-point scorers. Congratulations, Billy. Last, we have Jim Monahan, another one of our 1,000-point scorers. If you got one of these special programs, you can look at the way he put up the points. Also played 4 years at Notre Dame, was captain of the Notre Dame team, a 3-year Loyola winner. Thank you, Jim. Okay. The real reason we're here is these 2 guys two will step forward. On the left, we have Coach Byron Bradford. Some of you around here know him. He's in the High School Football Coaches Hall of Fame. He taught and coached full-time and part-time at Arcola for 49 years. He coached 5 sports. He was assistant coach in 6 state championship football games. And I think he finally gave it up about 3 years ago. But I can tell you, everybody on this list, everybody on that floor thinks the world of this guy. And we were so lucky to have coaches that we had. Every kid should have the opportunity to hang out with Bob Avery and Byron Bradford. Thanks, Coach. And then we have, last but not least, Mark Avery, Coach Bob Avery's son. Coach Avery and his wife and 2 daughters, Beverly, Lisa, and Kelly, they were on their way here. They got as far as Dallas, and because of the weather and some other things, they didn't make it. The real reason we organized this was for him, our respect for him. He's in the Coaches Hall of Fame. Coached at Onarga, Arcola, Champaign Sectional when it opened, and at Mattoon. Probably the greatest individual any of us have ever met, along with Coach Bradford, and I think everybody out there would tell you the same thing. So, thanks, Mark, for coming, and we just wish your dad could have been here and your mom. Thank you. Okay, one of the things about Mark Avery, he was also a cross-country runner for 4 years at the University of Illinois.
Real quick, Randy Rothman, right here. He's the one who put this thing together. He helped all of us. He was so important on our basketball team. He was the floor general. He got everybody in the right spot. He's still doing it today. Wasn't for him, we all couldn't get together like this. He works his rear end off. He's a heck of a basketball player and a better person. Thanks.
I didn't miss anybody, right? Thanks again to the Arthur people, to the Arcola people for putting up with us. You're really fortunate to have 4 classes of basketball, so you can really find out how you compare with the other kids around the state. What we accomplished was incredible in the 1-class system, but we're never going to know what we're going to do in the 4-class system. But we know we'd have had 1 first and 1 second. We might have, the Cobbin Apple Knockers might have beat us that 1 year, but that was it. Thank you very much. Guys, who wants a picture?